Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Guys, look at my t-shirt. Dancing with the Stars. The MC of the night, whoever the guy was that was like hyping up the audience, he was throwing t-shirts out and I literally caught it with my left hand. It came right to me. I snatched it and I got a t-shirt. I got a souvenir because I went to Dancing with the Stars last night and we are going to talk all about it. Okay, just got a text putting that on Do Not Disturb. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Zachary Reality. If you guys are new to my channel, please give this video a big thumbs up because I'm going to give you some good Dancing with the Stars BTS. And do not forget to also subscribe to my channel. So let's get into it. I am so excited to talk about my night at Dancing with the Stars and give you my live reactions and thoughts on all of the dances and the experience. I had an absolute great time. It was so much fun. So I love Dancing with the Stars. I went once last year to the show with my friend and we sat upstairs. This year I got to go and sit downstairs right behind the judges. And it was crazy. So in one way, you're like, oh my God, you got the best seat in the house. Because I was like front row, 2 feet away from me is Derek Huff, Bruno, Carrie Ann. But then also the judges are on like a podium. And since I'm like the first floor, it was kind of hard to see some of the dances. So pros and cons to my seats. Obviously, I got a lot of camera time. Some of you might have saw me on TV. But they told me when I got there, because I didn't know where I was sitting, but they were like, you're going to be like on TV. And it's like right behind Derek or Bruno. And like, I wasn't sure like where my shot was. But then when I got to check my phone at commercials, like my friends were texting me, they're like, you're right behind Derek. So whenever Derek is on camera, you're on camera. So I was trying to just like smile because because sometimes if you're just like watching a show, you're like, but I mean, I was having so much fun, but I was trying to smile. I was trying to clap. After a while, it like hurts to clap and smile, especially when you're there 2 hours. So I kind of just like fake clap after a while and then you can fake scream too. I'm like, and no one would know if you were watching on TV. But I mean, I can't be screaming and cheering for so long because let me tell you guys, it was a very long night. Okay, so I got to go to Dancing with the Stars because my friend Michelle, shout out Michelle, she is a story producer on the show. So she produced the packages. The packages are the 1 to 2 minute videos of like the celebrity and the dancer rehearsing and what their story is for the week. And then you see those packages right before they go on stage to dance. So Michelle, she is amazing. She does so well at her job. She's been doing it for so many years. I asked her if I can come and she was able to get me a VIP ticket, which is a different entrance than last year's. It's like a different section where you enter, you show your ID, you check your bag, you get there. My check-in time was 3 o'clock. So after I went through security, I checked in, made sure my name was on the list, and then you wait outside for like 30 to 40 minutes. I mean, I had to get there at 3. They don't really let us in until 4. So it's about an hour outside where we're just chilling. And because it's the VIP section, all the stars are kind of like coming outside to say hi to some of their friends. And then we get to go inside at 4 o'clock and everyone's seat has a name tag on it. So my name was on it and I was like, where is my name? Where is my name? I'm like looking for it when I get into the ballroom. It just so happens to be right in front of the judges in the first row. So I was just like, as I said, all right, here we go. I was so nervous because I wasn't expecting to have that seat, but I was also kind of excited to like be in the moment and like be in the mix. And like, obviously I was so happy to be there because I've been following the show all season long and it truly is such a fun, vibrant show. And when you're at Dancing with the Stars, the adrenaline is so high and so crazy because there's so many dances and everyone is just like so excited to be there. Last year when I went, I was there for the double elimination night when Heidi and Vinny got eliminated. So that was like the final 6. So it was really crazy. This time there are 10 couples left. Now there is 9. So it was a very exciting night to see what was going to happen for the most memorable year night. So that was the theme of the night where each of the celebrities dedicated their dance to a year in their life where they overcame something or it was a pivotal year in their life. For a lot of the celebrities, it was like the year they either had a baby and got married or the year that they got famous and their whole world changed. So it was so much fun to see all of the packages and the dances in real life. And I was so excited to see all of my favorites like Harry and Rylee and Charity and Ariana and Mauricio. There was a lot going on there. So I'm in my seat around like 4 o'clock, and the show doesn't start till 5. But before the show, they actually did film the Len Goodman tribute. So that wasn't live. That was the only part of the show that wasn't live. Some of the dancers from seasons past came back to support Len for this tribute because Len was one of the judges on the show who unfortunately passed away earlier this year. So this was the Len Goodman night, and there was not a dry eye in the audience. It was so sad. So they played his package probably around like 4:30, I think 4:40, just for us. It was so emotional to watch. I completely got chills because Len, I mean, he's such a great guy, and you can tell how much he impacted all of the dancers and how much everyone just loves him and respected him so much. Then the dancers did their dance, and then all the dancers kind of came to hug the judges and hug each other, and everyone was just crying, and it was really sad to witness it. And you could just tell how much Len just touched everyone. Bruno was crying, Emma was crying, and they're all just like directly in front of me crying. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so sad. So after the Len Goodman tribute, then we were ready for showtime. The show is really live, so everything happens in live time. It was so fun to be there and see all the behind the scenes with like the teleprompter, seeing Alfonso read the teleprompter and Julianne, and then also the judges, Derek, Carrie Ann, and Bruno, they have a time limit. Did you guys know that? So right across from them, there is a screen with a time limit. It started off at 22 seconds at the beginning of the show. So that means each judge has 22 seconds to say what they want to say. And then as the show got on and there's less time, I noticed that the seconds got less and less. So there was like 10 seconds or 18 seconds or then 7 seconds. And I also noticed that Derek Huff always talked longer than he was supposed to. Anytime it went to 0, it was like blinking red, and Derek is like still finishing up his point. So I'm just like, Derek, get it together. But he is such a doll. I loved seeing him, and I love seeing Julianne Hough. She is so iconic. And Alfonso, who's Carlton. Bruno, I was waving to him. He was waving to me. He was winking at me. Carrie Ann, I talked to after the show for a second, and she is so fabulous. But there is so much I want to say about the night and all of the dances, but I want to get right into your questions. So these are the questions you guys submitted on Instagram. I posted lots of content on my TikTok page and my Instagram story and my YouTube shorts, my Twitter. So go check out Zachary Reality on all my platforms to see my behind the scene coverage. But I want to get to all of your questions and what you guys have submitted. So Jesse says, what surprised you the most about the show with being there live? That's a good question. I guess it was just really fascinating to be behind the judges table, just because I was there last year. So I kind of experienced it last year, but being like on the first floor right behind the judges table, I just felt like I was so BTS. I saw like all their paddles with like 1 through 9. It's like so fun to see like the behind the scenes with like the cameraman. And then there was like the person holding the wire with the cameraman, and just seeing how like everyone is seated and like all the celebrities that kind of come in and out and how everyone talks behind the scenes and where everyone's chilling. Like seeing Mauricio like watching the dance from like upstairs, like you can see all the stars because you know how they're there when Julianne interviews them when they get their scores. She wants their live reactions. Just like seeing them from upstairs, I think is just like the most surprising. It's not even that it's surprising. It's just like, wow, like I'm really here. I'm like in the ballroom, like in this thing right now. Melanie said, how was being there for the Len tribute? Did you cry? So I didn't cry, but I was shaking. I was really, really shaking. Melanie also says, because Melanie submits so many questions, but we love it because she really does ask the good questions. She said, did you get recognized? Of course. Mark Ballas came up to me to say hello. I saw Val. I was like, hey, Val, did you see me? He was like, I saw you. I got recognized by the lady that was checking me in. One of the people who checked me on the list. She was like, oh my God, I love your TikToks. And then I got recognized by Miss Arnold. She said that she saw my videos. Favorite couple to watch. My favorite couple to watch was Harry and Rylee. So they actually are my favorite couple of the season. Going into the season, my 3 favorites were Harry, Charity, Ariana, and Mauricio, because I watch all of them on reality TV, on Netflix, Bachelor, Vanderpump, Beverly Hills. Going into the season, I was like, those are all the people I'm rooting for. But then once you see the dances and you see the couples matched up with each other, you know, how the couple progresses throughout the week, I feel like as a fan watching the show, you kind of have to pick one couple to root for the end. So my favorite couple to watch was Harry and Rylee because they are my favorite couple. I think I just love the two of them together. I love their dynamic and I love Rylee and she's such a star. So they're my favorite couple to watch because I'm rooting for them. But I think like IRL, it was so crazy to see Barry. He had an insane performance. I also loved seeing Ariana. Like I just want to keep giving her so much props because she is so beautiful. She is so kind. Like she's just so precious. I love seeing her. I love seeing Charity. I mean, how could I actually pick a favorite? Can you go on the show as a star? So I got a couple questions asking if I would do the show and if I would be on it. First of all, I'm not a big enough star to be on the show yet. Maybe in a few years, maybe in a decade, if and when I become this big star that I'm in the making for. Would I do the show? Probably. If they asked me to, if the opportunity presented itself, 100%, I couldn't turn down that opportunity. However, I don't really think that it's not something that I've ever aspired to do. I loved going in the audience and getting content and like being there and watching it. But I guess if the opportunity presented itself, I would do the show one day for sure. But I mean, that would be a challenge for me. I wouldn't even know how I would do. I mean, I don't know what kind of dancer I would be. I feel like it is a lot of pressure. I noticed how hard it is being critiqued by the judges and critiqued by America on your dances when you're just there having a good time and like you're there to perform, you're there to do ballroom. And also how hard it is when your intro package is playing. Like it's like kind of awkward. It's like they're talking about some of the darkest times of their life. Like Ariana does not want to explain Scandival again, but they are replaying it on her intro package while she's like getting in position to dance. So I mean, I just can't imagine how hard that is to like tune that out and tune all the outside noises out and just do dance. But then it probably is like when I'm like reporting or hosting and I'm just like so in the moment, I'm not thinking about anything else. You know, when you're like doing your thing and you're on camera and you're presenting, like you're just like in that zone. Jess3 Treats says, what is the audience doing in between dances? So in between dances, they are playing the intro package. The audience is on their phones. So we can only use our phones before the show starts and then after, and I'll get to that in a second, but before the show starts, because we're there for an hour, we can use our phones. And then in between commercial breaks, we're on our phones, we're chatting, we're like kind of like stretching. Some people get up for a second, some people run to the bathroom. And then there's also an MC who's like kind of hyping up the audience and like talking to different people who are like, where are you from? Like, what are you doing here? Who are you rooting for? But you can't really hear the MC too much because there is a lot of noise because between dances, you know, there's like confetti that they're cleaning up. There's camera shots they're preparing for. There's things they're doing to prepare for the next dance, like all the stage handlers and people like that. SWLB216 says, Rylee and Harry, we have to know. So Rylee and Harry are not dating. Can I like say that? I mean, like, guys, I'm sorry if you think they're dating, but they're just like really good friends who are like vibing. And I guess I haven't like heard that directly from their mouth because obviously I've seen them twice in the past month. So I don't actually know the exact status of their relationship. I can only speak on it for so much. I don't think they're dating, guys. I think they're just really good friends and that they're really loving the competition, just like enjoying the experience together, and they're really bonding, and maybe they have like a little crush on each other and there is a little flirtiness, but I really do think that they are not dating. You know, Rylee's 18. This is like a family show for her. Harry is just like really having fun in this competition and he has such great energy. This is the bracelet Harry gave me when I saw him at the Taylor Swift movie premiere. It says Dancing with the Stars. It was a friendship bracelet because it was Taylor Swift night. And I meant to bring this to the show last night and give it back to him, but I completely forgot it at home. So I guess it was meant to stay at home for me in my home. And did you guys see my outfit last night? My outfit was so cute. That jacket was so sparkly. Bruno loved it. All these ladies that I ran into loved my jacket. They loved my eyeshadow, my makeup. Like I was slaying last night. 10 out of 10 for Zachary. Arodinhas. A Rodriguez says, did you hear anything from the Arnold fam sitting behind them? So the Arnolds were right behind me. So right behind me was Mr. Arnold and Mrs. Arnold, Mindy Arnold. And then I don't know how many sisters Rylee has. I think she has 3, but at least 2 of them were there. Lindsay was there, who I said hi to because I love Lindsay. I watch her on TikTok. But I did get to chat a little bit with the Arnold parents and they are so nice, so cool. I told them that I was so excited to root for Harry and Rylee. So we were all on the same team here at commercial. I was like, guys, let's go Arnold. Let's text Harry to 21523. So I felt like I was in really good company. And I asked them a little bit about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because that's where they're from. And then we just talked about how excited we are to be there and like that we're rooting for Harry and Rylee. And they were just really, really sweet. So I was so excited to sit so close to the Arnolds. I felt like I was a part of Harry and Riley's like friends and family section. And it just was like a really good place to be. Like I loved feeling like an Arnold for the night. Just call me Zachary Arnold. How are you so calm? I would have freaked out. I was freaking out. So I was definitely freaking out, for sure. But I think after like a little bit, you kind of just like get used to it. But I was sitting next to a girl named Erica who is dating Travis Garland, who is one of the singers for the show, who's also besties with Mark Ballas. And I was just like whispering to her the entire time, like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Look at this person. Look at this person. And she was really cool. And it's funny because I actually watched her man Travis on Marriage Boot Camp years ago. So I had to tell her that. But yeah, I definitely was freaking out. But you know, you kind of just like watch the show. Did you see the real scores in studio? I don't know what that means. Well, I couldn't see the scores because I was sitting behind the judges. So they would put up the 9, it's an 8, it's a 7, and I wouldn't get to see it because that was from the other side. But we did see the scores. There was like a leaderboard they brought in at the end. So we knew that Charity was at the top with Yochel and Val, and that Harry and Rylee were at the bottom. Which teams truly seem to have the most chemistry when cameras aren't on them? That's a really good question. Emma and Mauricio, because they seemed like best friends throughout the whole night. They were holding hands, as TMZ confirmed. I saw them holding hands last night when Emma introduced Mauricio to her friends in the audience. They did not have to hold hands. They were not on camera. She was like, come with me, Mauricio. Also, Rylee and Harry, they're like best friends. I think that they have a lot of good chemistry because they are like BFFs. Jason and Daniela are definitely vibing. Barry and Peta, they are like so fun and cool. I didn't really get to see too many of the other couples off camera that were like hanging out. So I would honestly say that Emma and Mauricio and Harry and Rylee probably are like the most like buddy, I would say. What happens during commercial break? I kind of answered this earlier with your phones and the confettis, cleaning up and stuff. What are Harry and Rylee like in person? Riley's so sweet. She's just so happy to be there and living her dream. She's so gorgeous, phenomenal. Harry is just like so nice and cool. I feel like he's a jokester. He's embraced me, which I really appreciate. I love when reality stars embrace me and make me feel like I am the queen that I literally am, you know? So he's embraced me. Ariana has embraced me. And another question I get is, why did you not take a picture with Charity? Guys, I did not see Charity last night. I did not get to, I mean, I saw her. I did not get to meet Charity last night. I am so sad. I really wanted to meet her. I also wanted to meet Caitlin Bristow, who I saw, but I did not meet her either. I wanted to meet Charity, but I did send her a DM after the show and say, hey, I'm so sad I didn't get to see you. And she's like, you were there. Oh my God. I wish I would have known. So she's like, come back. She said to come back. So I guess I'm going to have to go back to the ballroom before the show is over, but I have to meet Charity. I'm so sad I didn't meet her. When I went last year to Dancing with the Stars, I got to meet Gabby, which was so exciting because you guys know I'm a Bachelor fan, but I did not get to meet Charity. So that was really disappointing. And I didn't get to meet Caitlin Bristow either, who I really wanted to meet. She was sitting at the celebrity table. So there's like one table of like, I guess 5 or 6 people, and they sub a couple people in throughout the night. Like they subbed Lily's husband in when she was doing her dance, but Caitlin Bristow was sitting there, Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules, Heidi D'Amelio, and then I guess 2 of Heidi D'Amelio's guests. And it was kind of crazy because before the show started, I guess there was seat fillers in that section. So I was like, who are all these people? They're just Heidi D'Amelio's friends that are here an hour before the show. And I'm like, this is so weird. And then I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that the name tag did say Heidi. So she ended up walking in at like, what, 4:55, all fly. I mean, the D'Amelios just run Dancing with the Stars, right? I had to show up at 3. Heidi D'Amelio has to show up 5 minutes before the show. Angela says, were you shocked Mira went home? Her Romy and Michelle tribute had me in tears in nostalgia. I'm shook. I was a little shocked that Mira went home. Mira's daughter actually came out to do the dance with her. And I felt really emotional watching her intro package when she talked about her husband and her daughters. So I thought it could be Allison and Sasha. Those were the bottom 2, and then Harry and Rylee, but we were not ready to accept that. Harry and Rylee did have the lowest scores, so I was a little nervous. But then Allison and Sasha had the second lowest scores. I also felt like Harry and Rylee get so many votes from the fans, but I wasn't overly shocked to see Mira and Gleb go. I love Gleb. I think he's one of the hottest dancers. A lot of these dancers are so hot in real life. Gleb, Artem, Val, they're all hot. Harry, Mauricio is so hot too, guys. His shirt was open the whole night. Did catch Emma and Mauricio getting cozy. What's the tea on Mauricio and Emma? Just said a few minutes ago, I saw them holding hands for a second when she was introducing him to her friends or family. And other than that, like I didn't see much. I don't really know what's going on. Obviously, it seems like they maybe were spotted out on a date earlier this week. I know The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is premiering tonight. And I also know that Mauricio dedicated his dance to Kyle tonight and their family. He was saying 1996 was the year that he was broke, got fired from his job, and had 2 kids and had Kyle. So, I mean, Kyle and Mauricio are separated. They've said that multiple times. They're still amicable. They're still willing to work on their marriage, but they're separated. So technically Mauricio is allowed to move on with Emma if that's what he wants to do. Or maybe they're just playing it up to get votes. Maybe Mauricio and Emma are just playing up the connection to get votes and it's all a ploy. I don't know if they're actually dating. Who knows? It could be all a ploy to get more votes. See, my whole thing with Mauricio is that I feel like him being on Dancing with the Stars is an opportunity for him to share his own story, because his story and his narrative is going to be told for him on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you guys have ever seen The Housewives, it's all about the wives, and the husbands kind of come in and out and their story is told for them. The husbands are always gossiped about. Like, all the housewives are going to be gossiping about Mauricio all season long. So him being in the ballroom, I'm like, that's just going to add so much pressure and stress if all the interviewers and all eyes are on him every week, because fans are going to be watching Beverly Hills and being like, oh my God, did you see this? Did you see that? Guys, I saw a screener for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills about 2 weeks ago for tonight's episode. So to give you a little tease, because make sure you guys tune in tonight, there is a scene between Kyle and Mauricio that is very intense. It's in the last 5 to 7 minutes of the episode, and it's about Kyle potentially wanting another tattoo. And it is a very intense scene. And I'll talk more about that in detail on my TikTok when I do a recap tomorrow. Obviously, I can't say too much because the show's going to come out tonight, and I'm so lucky to get a screener. Who do you predict will win Dancing with the Stars? I think Jason Mraz or Ariana Madix will win Dancing with the Stars. How do they decide the order of the dances? I don't know that question. So literally every question is about Harry, Rylee, Mauricio, Emma, and how I got tickets. So I feel like I answered all of the questions. It was truly such a fun night. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Once the show ended, I talked to Carrie Ann for a couple of minutes. I introduced myself, asked for a selfie. Then my friend Kelsey came over to say hi. She works for Disney Plus. And then I was leaving and I saw Harry and Rylee backstage. And then I kind of headed out. So I'm super sad that I missed Charity. I also didn't get to say hi to Ariana, but she did wave to me from the podium. I also didn't get a good picture. I wanted like a really good like solo shot where I could like have my ring light on, like a good picture. Next time I go, I want to get more content with more of the contestants. So I feel like I have some unfinished business and I need to go back to Dancing with the Stars before this season ends. Michelle, shout out Michelle, love you, thank you. Okay, well, thank you all so much for tuning in to my Dancing with the Stars recap. I loved giving you guys the behind the scenes tea of the ballroom and sharing my experience. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any further questions, leave them in the comments down below and I will make sure to read and respond. And before you head out of here, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other content on my page, because I recap lots of other reality TV shows, including shows from Netflix, Bachelor Nation, and I have lots of red carpet coverage and interviews that you do not want to miss. So check out my channel and ring the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.